Now they're putting out hot spots, and they tell us that one man was hurt here today. Actually, if you look down here at the sidewalk, underneath all of this snow, yeah, that's a solid piece of ice. Shelton duct taped the woman's hands and feet together. Headed down the hill, he went over the median, actually crashed into two cars. This landfill is directly across the street from both the county high school. Eastbound lanes have been shut down, and we're told cars are backed up for miles, so stay away from this area if you can. If you come with me, you'll understand why they're having this emergency clothing drive. They need warm accessories like these winter boots. Doesn't look that bad, but if you come over here, see, this is a really thick part of the tree uniform in the mirror. Then he went to grab his license and registration, but by the time he turned around, it was too late. Timothy Longmire says he is guilty of bribery, a felony charge, and he's accepting all of the consequences, which includes the possibility of jail time. Take a look at this video of him walking out of court just over an hour ago. He's out on bond and would not comment as he left the courthouse today, but in court he did admit he received kickbacks of more than $200,000 between 2014 and 2015 when he was serving as the Secretary of Kentucky Personnel Cabinet. Before today's hearing, the former Deputy Attorney General voluntarily removed himself from the Kentucky Bar Association. He also waived his indictment, waiving his right for these charges to be submitted to a grand jury. He then admitted guilt to bribery. This is not a lesser charge, but the same felony offense he was originally accused of. The U.S. Attorney wouldn't comment on if anyone else is being charged in this case, but did say there was no recommended sentence for Longmire, but the fact that he pleaded guilty today will likely work in his favor. Now, he could face up to 10 years in prison for this crime. He's scheduled to be back here in federal court for a sentencing hearing on August 18th. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you. A bad fire out here in downtown Stanton. The good news since we last spoke to all of you is that no one was hurt in this fire. You can see, though, behind me here that smoke is still billowing from the building. We're told this is both an apartment. There are two apartments in this old building, along with a business, the Just Plain Fancy Clothing Boutique that is in the bottom of the building. Firefighters say at around 3:15, someone working in the boutique noticed some fire. They're not sure if anybody was up in the apartments or not, but thankfully everybody was able to get out safely. At this point, firefighters are still trying to get this fire knocked out and under control. They say it's been very difficult because this is an old building and it's been hard to tackle. Along with the firefighters out here are a lot of people waiting, watching this fire. I'm sure some of these folks actually live in the apartment. Others, it is downtown, so this has just kind of disrupted the city, blocked most of Main Street out here. Now, firefighters say this has been such a difficult fire, they had to call in backup crews from both Montgomery County and Clark County, but at this point it looks like they're getting the fire under control. Well, they don't know what caused this fire yet today. They say they think it may be electric because, again, this building was built around in the 1950s. They say it's just very old, didn't have a lot of firewalls going on. As soon as we have more information, we'll get it back to all of you in the newsroom. When we think of Derby, a lot of times it's women's hats, women's dresses. What about the men? I'm here with Frank. Frank, tell me about your hat. So as you guys can see, we ended up switching hats because, I mean, this one looks so good. Frank, you did a great job. What do you think of mine?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
We might stick with this for the rest of the day. What do you guys think?
You never know.
Garage chic?
Back to you.
I think that's called garage chic, right?
It's got something similar to Johnny
Garage chic.
Garage chic. There you go.
Chic.
Frankfurt here, the snow has not let up over the last 5 hours. I'm actually standing on the sidewalk, doesn't look like it, just to show you how much snow we've gotten. I mean, look at that. That is over a short period of time today after all that rain we got. The problem is, if you look over here at the roads, they're not really any better. They look a lot like the sidewalks. Already tonight, we have seen a lot of slide-offs and wrecks in Frankfurt. Well, salt trucks have been out plowing nonstop. All that rain set us up for a perfect storm of wet, thick covered roads. Obviously, road crews were dealing with flooding earlier in the day and even had to take precautions and close the floodgates this afternoon. They wanted all of their workers out here focusing on the streets tonight when the blast of snow hit. Still, even with all hands on deck, it's been hard for road crews to keep up and for people trying to drive home. With the temperatures continuing to drop, that danger is only going to increase. So stay home, maybe make a snowman or something, play in the snow. Just stay off of these roads. Covering the news live in Franklin County from the LVX 18 Mobile Newsroom. Back to you. A warm cup of coffee. Or an icy treat.
Sweet tea?
That's been the remedy for students in Richmond.
$3.96 is your change. Thank you.
A priceless comfort since a threat reading "Kill All" by 10/8/15 plagued DKU's campus.
This is kind of a good place for people to come to off campus to kind of feel safe.
While many people packed up their bags and headed home, Purdy's Coffee Company says they've seen an influx of students, especially today after the university president canceled classes for the rest of the week.
The home away from home feel to people.
I went to Purdy's.
How come?
I was meeting with one of my friends, getting coffee because I had an open day.
Purdy's Coffee Shop isn't the only place to see an uptick in student business since the threat. Across the street, an embroidery shop has seen the same thing.
We've seen more customers come in. We're working with a lot of organizations on campus.
Whitney Jackson at Purdy's Embroidery says between the calls and the emails, the threat is sadly the talk of the town.
And they just say, "This is crazy. I'm kind of creeped out." Everyone's just a little bit scared.
An EKU spokesperson told the school newspaper that the threat has been escalated through posts on social media. Since then, school events have been moved or canceled.
Some people were nervous. Some people think it's just a hoax.
As police piece together the truth, students say one thing is for sure.
I'm still very proud to be a colonel.
Covering the news in Madison County, Hanna Mordoh, LVX 18 News. These are the faces of wanted criminals. But they're not behind bars. They're living right here in central Kentucky.
They're running and they're hiding.
Hiding from Roberto Rodriguez. He's the director of Kentucky's probation and parole. It's his job to track these people down.
We will go for them, we will search for them, and we will find them.
But where are the hundreds they haven't caught? I found some of them on Facebook. In Lexington, Georgetown, Harrodsburg, posting pictures, updating statuses, and even telling friends where to find them and what numbers to call.
It's only as good as the information that is inputted by the person who holds the account.
That's true. So I started digging even deeper. First into Gary Blythe's page, his life. He went to prison for burglary and absconded from Fayette County. But his Facebook says he's living right here in Lexington. So I sent him a message.
The interesting part of this is that he actually had a conversation with you.
More than just a conversation, Blythe told me he knew he violated his parole and plans to turn himself in after the holidays. But when I asked to meet up, he asked me if he looked stupid.
What is surprising is that he overtly indicated that he's wanted.
He did, and so did others. Eric Gooden went to prison for a family offense and absconded from Scott County. His Facebook says he's living in Georgetown, so that's where I started. I'm looking for Eric Gooden. Are you?
Yeah, I'm his mother.
You're his mother? She had no idea her son violated his parole. How does it make you feel?
Sad. Really sad. It just means he's gonna have to go back to jail.
With a heavy heart, she passed on his number. Hi, is Eric Gooden there?
That's him.
Did you realize you absconded?
No, I did not.
Have they not tried to get a hold of you?
No, I haven't had nobody contact me.
Rodriguez says it's unlikely Gooden or any other absconders don't know they have violated.
I don't believe that that is accurate. We probably have knocked on his door.
But if that's true, how is he still running? If we found them, how come you guys haven't found them?
I believe you found them by chance.
Be it luck or hard work, the process is difficult, but one the Department of Corrections is trying to master.
We actively search. We knock on doors and actively search.
They have developed the CAP program, capturing absconders proactively, and use social media like Facebook to find criminals. Still, is this a problem we need to solve?
Yes, absolutely.
But how? We found for ourselves that people in the community often know where these absconders are. Rodriguez tells me they are the key to making a change.
This is not only a system problem, but it's also a community problem.
So until the public stands up to help make things safer, the bottom line is...
They are dangerous, there's no doubt about it. We need to get them back.
Jessica, we were here as that Jessamine County EMS worker was escorted into UK Hospital just a few hours ago, and we could tell something was wrong. He was followed by police officers and other emergency responders, and they all just flooded into the parking lot here at UK Hospital. Obviously, they'll be keeping a close eye on their friend tonight. Sadly, they joined another group of first responders, those who are still watching over Officer Daniel Ellis. They have been here around the clock, and his family says he's been touch and go, fighting for his life all day long, but he has his community of Richmond rallying behind him.
This morning I noticed there was some police officers in the waiting room asleep in the floor. They never left all night, and it's just, it means a lot. I mean, that means a lot. There's a brotherhood there and a sisterhood. You know, they're a family.
Family of Officer Daniel Ellis have felt the arms of the community around them, from prayer services to fundraisers.
All the proceeds are going to go to Officer Ellis' family.
You said this was for Officer Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
The support is lifting spirits after the father and 7-year officer on the Richmond Police Force was shot on Wednesday while investigating a robbery. Officer Ellis has critical, life-threatening injuries, but help and prayer from the community nurture hope.
I want to thank everybody that's been involved to take care of it. It's been great.
Tonight, hundreds of people gathered for a peace mass at St. Mark Catholic Church for Officer Ellis.
He was doing something for me, following back up on something with me, so of course I'm feeling a lot of guilt on that respect.
Beth Gannon, the victim of the robbery Officer Ellis was investigating, says the tragedy has weighed heavy on her heart.
Praying for, of course, Officer Ellis. That's the first priority, that he's of healing and comfort for his family. Oh, we're going to orange leaf.
It's $6.72. Thank you so much.
At the Orange Leaf in Richmond, prayers came in the form of frozen yogurt this afternoon.
You say hi.
Hi. How's that ice cream?
Good. Good. The response has been overwhelming. So many people have been coming out. It's just amazing.
A sea of blue poured into the ice cream shop, where 50% of the proceeds today and tomorrow go to Officer Ellis and his family.
Whatever we can do to help that is awesome.
Across town, music rang out at Purdy's coffee shop.
Small Moroccan mint tea.
A cup of comfort and a healing song and dance to help raise money for Officer Ellis.
We love them, and we can't express how sorry we are for what happened.
And back at the hospital, the strength of so many is what's keeping this police force, this family, afloat.
All over the nation, people are praying for Daniel, praying for the Richmond Police Department.
Again, Officer Ellis's family says his condition has been touch and go all day and all night. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom, back to you.
The best, most kind-hearted man, the best father.
Memories of 43-year-old Shane Washington bring his fiancée, Kimberly Cox, to tears.
He was such a good dad. He did everything for us, everything.
But he's no longer here to protect their family. Back in July, 49-year-old Thomas Carson was arrested for killing Shane. Kimberly says Tom sexually assaulted her. Then Shane went to confront him at his home on Hartley Drive. That's where Shane was killed. From jail, Tom said it was all self-defense.
No, I did not kill that guy.
I guess he hit Tom, and then Tom hit him with a hatchet and bashed his head in with some kind of a rock.
Since then, Tom has been behind bars. But now he's on house arrest and staying with his mom.
He can see my bathroom from his back door.
How scary is that?
Very. He could be at my house within seconds. The police can't get here for 20 minutes.
Just to show you how close the two homes are together, I'm going to time my walk from one place to the other. Then about a minute later, we're in front of the house where Thomas Carson is staying. So I stopped by. They were a little upset that he's staying so close.
I don't know why. He ain't gonna bother nobody.
But Kim says he's already messaged her on social media. Tom's mother says she didn't know anything about that, but her son is too sick to tell his side of the story. So Thomas doesn't want to talk.
I didn't know he's sleeping.
Whatever the case, for Kimberly, this neighbor is too close for comfort.
I want him where he belongs. I mean, murder. He shouldn't be out.
Covering the news in Jessamine County, Hanna Mordoh, LEX 18 News.